Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we will discuss the newly proposed revised syllabus for CSIR NET exam. So as you can see here in the name itself, UGC CSIR DBT National Eligibility Test NET exam. So till now we know that we had separate exams, that is UGC CSIR for life science, and then there was a separate exam which was conducted by Department of Biotechnology, DBT exam, okay, for biotechnology. Plus we do have CSIR biotechnology. Right now it has been proposed, okay, this is not finalized, this is just being proposed, that if CSIR exam and the DBT exam is merged, then what will be the syllabus? Pretty much 80 to 90% of the syllabus is same for both the examinations, but for the DBT exam we see that there is a part of bioinformatics, computational biology which is included, which was not the part of CSIR exam. So this is the proposed revised syllabus and not the finalized syllabus. Basically the viewpoint of all the stakeholders, like all the teachers, professors, students, right, they're asking, like, is it okay if we make these changes in the syllabus, or do we need to add something, delete something, right? So the opinions of the stakeholders has been asked. You can easily check it on the CSIR website. So now I will be discussing what is that proposed revised syllabus. So let's quickly dive into it. In the last video, we also saw the CSIR syllabus, the one which we are following till date, right? It had 13 units, but now we can see here we have a total of 14 units. So it's not like a total drastic change, but there are certain units which have been added and there are certain units which have just been rearranged. Okay, so if you look at the first few units, like that is, first we have structure and function of biomolecules. This was same in the previous syllabus. Next, cellular organization, which includes cell biology, same. Next, we have fundamental processes, cell communication, cell signaling, developmental biology, systems physiology plant, system physiology animal, inheritance biology. So till the 8th unit, the syllabus is same as the old one. Even if you look at the last unit, we can easily see that the syllabus is same as the last previous syllabus which we follow till date, right? Methods in biology, this is also present as it is. Okay, now there are certain topics which have been added newly. I will discuss which topics have been added in each unit, but pretty much 1 to 8th unit and the 14th unit is same, or like about 95% same unit. Okay, next, if you look at the 9th and 10th unit, you can see actually these units, these topics were present in the old syllabus also, right? Evolution, yes, it was present. Diversity was present. Ecology was also there, and behavioral biology was also there. But it was actually present in a different format, like evolution and behavior, the topics were together. Diversity was a different unit. Ecology was also present in it. So basically these two units, these are like rearranged units. Rather, I would say now it makes more sense with the flow of topics which are mentioned in the syllabus, right? And like in the old syllabus, some of the topics were not very clearly and precisely mentioned, but now in this newly proposed syllabus, everything is given in a crystal clear manner so that you don't skip or don't miss out on any topic, right? For so many years there were questions asked from certain topics which were not very clearly mentioned in the old syllabus. Okay, though it is understood, like if you study a particular topic, it's by default that you have to study a particular subtopic, right? It makes sense, but it was not directly mentioned. But now what they have done, there should be no confusion, so they have mentioned everything in the syllabus. The questions which were asked so far but not given in the syllabus directly, but now they have mentioned it directly. So if you see, the 9th and 10th unit is also not something brand new. Everything is same, only some rearrangements are done. Next, talking about the 11th, 12th and 13th unit, now we can see there are some totally new topics which have been added. Rather, again, if you look at 13th unit, the title here is Advances in Biotechnology. This is actually the applied biology unit as per the old syllabus. So that applied biology part is definitely there. And plus some new topics have been added. And now the title is Advances in Biotechnology. About 50 to 60% of this 13th unit is same as the old syllabus. Remaining are the unit number 11 and 12. These are new units. Okay, there are many topics which have been newly added, especially this one, bioinformatics. In the CSIR NET examination, there was no content related to bioinformatics and computational biology, but now this new unit is being added. So students of bioinformatics, biotechnology, and related disciplines, they have an advantage now. Whatever they study during their post graduation, right, they can easily use it here. And those who have they don't have, like, if someone is doing post graduation from zoology or botany or any maybe other subjects, and who don't have bioinformatics, no need to take tension. You can prepare it. It's rather a straightforward unit. If you prepare it with enough preparation, enough question practice, then I think you can easily solve many of the questions from this unit. And if you want to leave this unit, you can easily leave. See, no one can prepare all the 13 or 14 units. No one can prepare. But previously also, there were 13 units, but there is no one who can prepare all the 13 units thoroughly. Okay, about 8 to 10 units. Okay, if you target properly, then you can easily crack the CSIR NET examination, right? To clear, like the JRF also, not only lectureship, you can easily clear with 8 to 10 units, but obviously you need to study them thoroughly. Plus, let's say you prepare 2 more units targeting some important topics, going through PYQs and all, then I think you can easily solve 1 or 2 extra questions also. Then you can expect a good rank also. Okay, but if you want to clear JRF, then 8 to 10 units, minimum 8 units, and 10 then well and good. Okay, so there is no compulsion that you have to study bioinformatics, but definitely if you study, then it will be an advantage. So this is 1 unit. And then we have biochemical engineering and industrial biotechnology. This is also added. A greater part of industrial biotechnology was present in the old syllabus also, but some basics of engineering principles, some mathematics is also basically been added. So you have to study that. And don't be like, now we study biology, life sciences, why there is maths again. But see, if you want to do research, then some basic concepts of mathematics, part of statistics, right? Basic math is required for research also. Whatever data you get, you need to interpret it, right? So for that, the basic math is required. So here you can see unit wise. This is the first unit, structure and function of biomolecules. This is exactly same as the old syllabus, right? They have only distributed it as A, B, C, D, like topic wise, but everything is literally same as the old syllabus. There is no difference. Next, cellular organization. This is also pretty same as the old syllabus, only some of the things have been specified. Like here you can see necrosis, autophagy, which were not mentioned clearly in the old syllabus, but now they have mentioned. Apoptosis was mentioned in a different unit. Now they have put here. Rather, it makes sense to study apoptosis linked to cell cycle, right? So this topic is not new, only it has been rearranged. And necrosis and autophagy, definitely you have to study if you study for life science and the CSIR NET exam. Plus, antimicrobial resistance topic has also been added. So definitely you can study it as a part of microbial physiology. Next unit, we have fundamental processes. This is also almost same as the old syllabus. There is nothing new. Rather, whatever it was expected to study as per the main titles, now they have specified. Like I've highlighted certain points like inhibitors. See, if we study transcription process, transcription factors, everything, then definitely we study about some of the inhibitors, like some of the antibiotics, and where exactly they act, how do they regulate the gene expression, right? So anyways, it was expected to be studied, but now it's like, okay, they have mentioned. And if you go through the previous year's question, you will see there are many questions asked on transcriptional inhibitors. So you have to study this. Then ribozyme, very important, and small topics. Okay, next, riboswitches, non-coding RNA. Earlier these topics were not mentioned precisely, but now it has been mentioned, so we have to study this. Next, protein trafficking and transport protein degradation. Now we used to study this usually with some other allied topics, but it was not clearly mentioned, but now it's mentioned. So this topic, this unit basically is pretty much the same, only certain things are specified in a more elaborate manner. Next, we have cell communication and cell signaling. This unit is same as old, but as you can see, certain points have been like rearranged. Okay, so and again this also makes sense. Like first you have to study cell signaling, right? Receptors, what are receptors, how do they act, second messengers, then you can study about the cellular communication, and then definitely the immunology part. In the old syllabus the sequence was different, everything is same as it is. Next we will study about the host pathogen interactions. So first we have to study about our immunity system, right? And then we can study about the host and pathogen interaction. And next topic is cancer. Okay, so the unit is same as old. Next we have developmental biology. This is also same as old. Some words have been added, and as per the old syllabus also it is like common sense that if you are studying the development in plants, then you have to study how embryo is formed, how endosperm is formed, right? Its dynamics and the germination process. Though it was not mentioned in the old syllabus, but it makes sense that if you are studying embryogenesis, double fertilization, and obviously you have to study how embryo and endosperm are formed in plants also. So this has been clearly mentioned, and some terms like organogenesis. Now, when you are studying how different plant parts are formed, the different model systems which we study, obviously that time the organogenesis part is covered. So this is exactly same. Okay, now they have just mentioned separate animals, plants. Initially it was just clubbed as one point only, right? But now they have like separated the points properly. Okay, again here you can see program cell death. So anyways we are studying the apoptosis in the cell cycle topic also, so it will be the same aging senescence. Now you have to cover it with respect to plants also. Animals usually we deal it with cell cycle, with respect to plants you need to cover it here. Next we have system physiology plant. This is also same as the old syllabus. You have, as you can see, you have the same topics. Certain subtopics have been elaborated. Like if you study secondary metabolites, earlier phenolic compounds, terpenes were specified, but alkaloids or phenyl propanoids were not specified. Now they've specified it. Okay, but if you are studying secondary metabolites, then it is expected that you know about alkaloids. And metabolic engineering in plants, this has been added now. There are many questions in the past few years which have been asked on metabolic engineering topic. So now they have like precisely mentioned it in the syllabus, and also innate immunity with respect to plants. Next, we have the system physiology animal. This is also almost same as the old, only they have added certain concepts, like they have added the meta-organisms, holobionts, that is gut microbiome physiology. Okay, this was not present in the old syllabus. This is something really new. Okay, and good that we have to study this. You can easily associate it with the digestive system, which is definitely part of the old syllabus also, as you can see here, digestive system. So anyways, you can just add it with that. Next, study of the gut microbiome, germ-free animals, gut-brain axis, dysbiosis, and disease. And then inter-organ communication, how different organs basically, stomach, liver, intestine, brain, how do they function in a coordinated manner. So their communication, energy homeostasis. Now usually this was covered in some other topics, but now we cover it here itself. Metabolic health and disorders. Again, there are many disorders which you cover in the genetic disorders topic, metabolic disorders. Now they have mentioned it here specifically. Okay, so you have to study the related disorders here itself. Next unit is inheritance biology, that is genetics. This is also pretty same as the old syllabus, only rearrangement can be seen. Okay, like there were some topics which were in a different sequence. Now it's a different sequence, but everything is same as the old syllabus. So as you can see, again, population genetics, Hardy-Weinberg. Usually we used to study with evolution, and we can add it in the genetics part itself, which again makes sense. When you're studying about genes, alleles, you can easily correlate the Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium, right? So you can study it together. Otherwise, everything is pretty much same, right? Even the last topic, recombination, the different types of changes in the chromosomes, right? Chromosomal aberrations is what we will study. In the old syllabus, transposons was mentioned, but here it has not been mentioned. So just understand the basics of what are transposons, but no need to study it in detail as it has been removed from the new syllabus which has been proposed. Next, okay, now this is a change. Like nothing in the syllabus part, everything is same, but the arrangement is different, right? We have evolution and diversity of life forms, these two parts together. So you can see this is all the evolution part. Then we have the taxonomy, and now they have specified, initially in the old syllabus, everything was just mentioned in 2 to 3 lines, but now they have mentioned microbial life, their diversity. Next, protist, what you have to study in protist, everything is mentioned. You know what you have to target. No need to study everything. Target these topics. Fungi, which groups in fungi need to be studied, everything is mentioned here. Then diseases associated. Next, plant life, animal life, what you have to study, right? Everything is mentioned. Also, in the older syllabus, with respect to diversity also, natural history of Indian subcontinent, disease, organism, and conservation status, these were mentioned, but this is not there in the new syllabus here. Okay, so this has been removed. So no need to focus on the diversity of Indian subcontinent as such. Okay, next we have ecology and behavioral ecology, biology. So again, these topics were also present in the old syllabus, only rearrangement. So they have mentioned certain things in more detail, like you have to study the level of organization, like what is individual, population, community, ecosystem, biosphere. Initially, these terms were not mentioned, but let's just say if you're studying ecology, the first step which you study is what is ecosystem and all these terms. What is an individual? What is population? How population and community are different from each other? What is the meaning of biosphere, right? We start from this. So even if they mention or don't mention, you have to study. This is very basic, but now thing is they have mentioned, so you have to study, right? Next, the same things, this is there in the old syllabus also, population ecology, community ecology, ecosystem ecology. And then, okay, this has been added, anthropogenic pressures. So how human activities have impacted various ecological processes, climate change, pollution, invasive species, this has been added. Okay, apart from this, the biodiversity and conservation, a greater part of this was there in the old one also, and the same thing is here, threats to biodiversity, why we have to conserve, the IUCN categories, right? The different categories for conservation, population, viability analysis, then ex situ and in situ conservation, everything is just the same. Okay, next we have very important. This is added now. Okay, it was not clearly mentioned in the old. So acts and policies, everything related to ecosystem and biodiversity. So here we have to cover now Biodiversity Act 2002, agricultural biodiversity, International Treaty on Plant Genetic Resources for Food and Agriculture, conservation strategies for seed gene bank, climate change, conservation of plant genetic resources, strategies on PPVFR and biodiversity acts. Now we can pinpoint, okay, these are the acts, these are the policies which we have to target, and like not be confused how many acts to study. And behavioral ecology, earlier we used to study it with the evolution part, now it has been put here, but pretty much the topics are same. Okay, easy to study. Next, okay, this is something new. We have bioinformatics and computational biology. So this is from the DBT syllabus, okay, and GATE syllabus. So definitely see, if you prepare according to this syllabus, I think you're automatically prepared for every entrance exam. And let's say later on, if they, finally merge, then don't be stressed out like the syllabus is getting increased. You have to study so much. So competition will be fierce. Definitely day by day the competition will increase, the number of people who appear for exam is also increasing year by year, so definitely competition will be fierce, but we should not be afraid of it, rather we should prepare hard, and whatever you prepare will not go waste, right? So if you have not studied anything about bioinformatics, then you can try learning something new, right? Definitely have to give more time, but you can give it an attempt, focus on the main topics. And this is something where, there is no confusion, like what's the end. You can easily use a good reference book, target it, and study the entire bioinformatics part. Okay. So here we have major bioinformatic resources, basic concepts of sequence analysis. So this is what you will use for your future research, right? So blast analysis, FASTA, this is what we use. So you have to be aware like how to use all this. Next, we have gene annotation, molecular modeling and dynamics. So all the softwares and all which we use for 3D structure visualization, simulation, this is what we should know. Next, classification and comparison of protein 3D structures. So again, different models for this. AI-based methods. Okay, this is also very important to predict different structure like the AlphaFold. So, if you want to do research, you want to do PhD, then somewhere maybe in your research you need to use the tools of bioinformatics. So at least you should be aware of what is bioinformatics and what are the important tools. Okay. Drug design, again, what are the various databases available, what softwares do we use, how to do it, all these ligand based drug design, all these topics have been mentioned. And then we have system biology. Okay. So this includes data science applications in biology, health, drug discovery, mathematical modeling of metabolic pathways and disease, digital health, personalized medicines. All these new topics are also being added. Okay. And one more thing, like let's say if both the exams like CSIR NET and DBT, these exams get merged, and also understand the seats will also be increased, right? The seats will not be the same. The seats from DBT will also be part of this. So you have more chance to, do your research in a more national level, like premier institute. So don't get disheartened by why bioinformatics. Again, this is just a proposed syllabus. We still don't know whether this will be finalized or not, right? That will be depending on and the various discussions and the opinions which are gathered from various stakeholders, teachers, students. So that definitely future will tell us. But even if this is added, I think we should take it positively. We will learn something new. If you strategize your studies properly, then you can easily target. And as I said earlier, see, no one is able to study all the units. Like according to the newly proposed syllabus, we have 14 units. See, there is no one who can study all 14 units in detail, like everything. Not possible. Ideally, students who even, have scored well and got a rank, they have targeted minimum 10 units and maybe up to 12 units. Then only, they got the rank, right? So definitely you can get a rank. Next, we have biochemical engineering and industrial biotechnology. So here you can see we have the introductory mathematics, at least some basics of mathematics should be dealt with. Next, engineering principles, thermodynamics in biological systems. So all subtopics have been mentioned in detail, right? To what extent and which topics need to be covered. Next, bioprocess engineering. Now see, this is not new. This is what was there in the old syllabus also, bioprocess engineering and technology, right? The fed batch cultures, then we have microbial growth curves, sterilization techniques, then we have the fermentation, right? Various medium which we use. So all this is same. Next, enzymes and microbial technology. So we study about enzymes, catalyst. So this is again pretty much the same thing. Now we will associate it with the microbes used and the technology part. Next, we have downstream processing. Again, all this is part of fermentation technology, right? Bioprocess engineering. So, what are the various techniques to purify the products? So, downstream processing. Then we have the bioprocess plant design and metabolic engineering and synthetic biology. So, some of the parts, initial parts, mathematics and has been added, but definitely learn some basics of it, which is required for your future. And the rest, definitely you can skip. Okay. Last, second last, okay, third today. Now we have 14 units, right? So this is the second last unit, advances in biotechnology. So obviously we have the recombinant DNA technology, right from cloning, how to express the product, right? How to extract it, how to purify everything, gene expression analysis, different techniques used, mutagenesis. So all techniques related to recombinant DNA. Next, this was there in the old syllabus also, so nothing new. Next, we have medical biotechnology. This is also there in the old syllabus. Certain things have been specified, like stem cell therapy. Okay, vaccine was mentioned in the old syllabus, but now it has been mentioned, like what different kinds of vaccines need to be studied. So live, killed, attenuated, subunit, right? Recombinant nucleic acid vaccine like DNA vaccines. So this is what we have to study, right? Other, I think majority of the things are almost the same. Next, we have animal biotechnology, agriculture biotechnology. So first we had plant genomics title. Now we have it as agriculture biotechnology. Everything is pretty same, like plant bodies and such small topics have been specified now, but rest everything is pretty much the same. Okay, now this is basically from DBT syllabus, marine biotechnology and environmental biotechnology. You can learn some basics, and here subtopics are also been mentioned, so it is easy like what to study, what not to study. Last but not the least, methods in biology. This is almost same as the old syllabus. Okay, as you can see, molecular biology techniques, this was there in the old one. Okay, they have just arranged it properly, right? Next, we have biophysical methods, so spectroscopic techniques, genomics, transcriptomics, proteomics, and metabolomics. This was also there in the old syllabus. Radio labeling techniques, histochemical and immunotechniques, microscopic techniques, electrophysiological methods, methods in field biology, statistical methods, right? Again, very important if you want to pursue PhD, or if you want to do some research, and whatever results you get, you need to analyze the data. So for that, some basic statistical techniques you should know. Okay, now this is added, and I think very much required when we study so much about life sciences, biology, biotechnology, right? We should be aware of the IPR, that is intellectual property rights, biosafety, bioethics, very important topics. Obvious again, AI in research and publication. Then we have patent databases, IP types, research ethics, very important. Okay, because these exams are basically for students who want to do PhD or research, right? So definitely one should be aware of all this. And plagiarism, right? All this is important to know. So this is all about the newly proposed syllabus. And as you can see, in the old syllabus, there were 13 units. Now here in the newly proposed syllabus, this is just the proposed syllabus, not the final syllabus. Okay, but in this newly proposed syllabus, we have a total of 14 units. And I have discussed what all things have been added, what new units, like brand new units have been added, like the bioinformatics and computational biology. So definitely as stakeholders, all teachers, students, right, like you who are trying to aspire research field, or maybe some of you want to become a teacher, so you will give the exam for lectureship qualification. So definitely you should be aware of the syllabus, and I hope this video was helpful for you. And in the next upcoming video lectures, we will start with the different important topics. Okay, so we'll start with something very basic. So from something from the initial units. So stay tuned, subscribe the channel, like if you have really liked the video. Thank you.